Let's talk about Deshaun Watson, folks, because he's done, folks. The man is done. Here we go. So this is what we were going to talk about yesterday. Also, we ran very late yesterday, so we have to kind of squeeze in a couple of stories that we were going to talk about yesterday, and this was one of them. Texans and Deshaun Watson have an understanding that he won't play pending a future trade. So this was yesterday, or 2 days ago, the 17th, that this came out. More information came out yesterday that basically puts this story to bed. It doesn't even need to be talked about. But Deshaun Watson really probably not going to be playing this year, and there was a slight sliver of hope. There was about 2 days where we were kind of buying into Deshaun Watson kind of being the week 1 starter, and the odds were pretty solid. You could have made some solid money. It was like plus 500. He was at plus like 1,000 before that, and then it dropped to plus like 550. So let's just quickly see. Deshaun Watson playing is still at 550, but now we say this is a bad bet. This is not a good bet anymore. So Texans and Deshaun Watson have an understanding that he won't play pending a future trade, so he's probably not going to be playing for the Texans. He still wants out. He still wants the trade. He is still standing firm on that. But what is going to hurt his chances of playing this year, or really playing ever again, is once again the sexual assault allegations, and it just got even worse yesterday. So here we go. Let's talk about this. The allegations of sexual assault and inappropriate behavior against Deshaun Watson are being investigated by the FBI. Damn. First it was just, civil lawsuits, and then they turned to criminal complaints, and now the FBI is like, hey, we want a piece of this investigation. Let's see what is truly going on here. So let's get into this article quickly here and see to what extent the FBI is going to be investigating. And folks, we know the NFL hasn't even really investigated this. We kind of been, reading along and keeping up with the story, and the NFL kind of investigates lastly. They let the criminal kind of investigations play out, and then after that's kind of at the end road, they do their own investigation. So the NFL is really not in the investigation game right now, but the FBI was like, yes, we want in. We're throwing our hat into the ring. Let's see what we can uncover. And if you're ever having the FBI investigate you, that's never a great sign. So let's see to what extent the FBI is playing up their part here. So here we go. The allegations of sexual assault and inappropriate behavior against Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson are being investigated by the FBI. Watson's lawyer, Rusty Hardin, said Wednesday. Hardin also said that Watson spoke to the FBI about allegations of extortion regarding one of the 23 lawsuits filed against the quarterback, of which 22 are still active. Quote here by Deshaun Watson's lawyer, Rusty Hardin, says, quote, in April, the FBI came to us and told us they were investigating a matter as to whether one of Mr. Tony Busby's clients, the one representing all those 22 civil lawsuits, whether one of Tony Busby's clients had committed extortion in the way they were demanding money from Deshaun, or what they would do if they didn't pay. Oh, so the FBI is investigating the women. Wow, the FBI is on Deshaun Watson's side now. They're like, hang on, this is extortion. We don't care about the sexual assault. We'll let that play out. But hey, if there's extortion here, we need to find that out. And that's kind of what they spoke to the FBI. And this was back in April. So now, we're months removed from this, and we haven't even heard about this. So real interesting here. Maybe nothing came of it. And now the story's just kind of gaining traction because, the investigation's over. But let's keep going here. Let's see what else we find out, because now we know that they were investigating kind of the women potentially extorting Deshaun Watson. And extortion's never great. If you pay in, they're always going to be asking for more money. And if you don't pay, then it's a national story and you got 22 women coming against you. So, it's a lose-lose situation whenever you're being extorted. So, I got no problem with the FBI kind of stepping in and being like, no, you can't be doing this. But another quote here by Rusty Hardin again. We were not the ones who contacted them. They contacted us. We talked to the FBI. We even let them interview Deshaun. And if y'all can find a lawyer that will let his client talk to the FBI, if the lawyer had thought his client had done anything wrong or had any exposure, then I'll be very, very surprised. And that is true. I mean, Deshaun Watson has really been upfront on everything, willing to kind of tell his side of the story, the truth, that, you know, what he's proclaiming as the truth. And he's really been very front forward here. He's been very, very cooperative with everybody, the NFL, the civil attorneys, the criminal charges with the police. He's been cooperating every single step of the way. And, you know, his lawyer brings up a very, very good point here. Like, we let this man talk to the FBI. If, you know, we thought, hey, you know, you could make, we think you're, we think you're innocent, but, you know, you could hurt yourself if you do talk to the FBI. I mean, your lawyer is there to protect you. It doesn't matter if you're innocent or guilty. That does not matter to your lawyer. They are there to protect you and make you not guilty in the eyes of the law. That is their job. So them willing to have Deshaun Watson talk to the FBI, once again, it's really seeming like Deshaun Watson may be innocent in this entire thing. And, you know, just unfortunate. He said, she said. We have to let it all play out to truly see what happened. You know, what we are doing is just talking it through every step of the way when there's breaking information. But it's truly seeming like Deshaun Watson could possibly be pretty innocent here. This is real interesting, folks. Real interesting. Let's keep it up here in the article, and let's keep finding out some more things about what happened with this FBI meeting. On Friday, Busby, who represents the women suing Watson, told the League of Justice website, the League of Justice, what is it, superheroes? The League of Justice. Okay, who cares about the League of Justice? Told the League of Justice website that the FBI met with him to discuss Watson and spoke with several plaintiffs, saying, quote, this is Rusty Hardin again. I don't think they're investigating Deshaun. What they're investigating is the allegations Busby has made in his lawsuits. I didn't know about it until I didn't know about that until yesterday, and then I checked it out, and it's true. They are. Hardin reiterated that Watson will, quote, continue to cooperate with all parties involved with the investigation. Another quote here by Rusty Hardin, Deshaun Watson's lawyer, quote, we will continue to cooperate with the FBI in any way they want. We have from the first cooperated with the Houston Police Department, cooperated with the District Attorney's Office, and will cooperate with the FBI. And ultimately down the line, we'll cooperate with the NFL because we know Deshaun has done absolutely nothing wrong. So once again, just very, very cooperative and every single step of the way. There's something to say about that. I'm all for keeping your mouth shut. That doesn't make you guilty if you just keep your mouth shut. So I would have had no problem with him doing that. But, you know, he's free-flowing information. He's got nothing to hide. He's talking to everybody, and he's still not in jail. So it's kind of potentially working a little bit. All right, keep going here in the article. At his news conference, Hardin read what he said were text messages to Watson from the women he is accusing of extortion. Hardin said the text messages do not mention an alleged attack on December 28th, 2020 during a massage session that the women said she, quote, apologized for my actions. Busby told the Associated Press later Wednesday that Hardin is attacking the women who have sued Watson, saying Hardin is, quote, focused on trying to attack me or my clients, and I'm tired of it. Oh, now we got lawyers beefing over here. Last month, Hardin told ESPN's John Barr that 10 women have filed complaints about Watson with the Houston Police Department. 8 of the women, according to Hardin, are among the 22 plaintiffs who have filed lawsuits against Watson. Hardin said Watson has not spoken to the NFL as part of its investigation into the lawsuits, saying, quote, the NFL regularly tries to not reach out to the defendant and his lawyers and seek evidence from them until the criminal investigation is over. Folks, we've just said that as well, prefacing the story. Historically, they want to make sure they don't interfere with the criminal investigations. I've had no contact with the NFL except to call initially and say, whatever that time is appropriate, we will fully cooperate. So, Deshaun Watson, the FBI is investigating the women about extortion, and Deshaun Watson is still facing these allegations civilly and criminally now. But that's the latest update on Deshaun Watson, folks. The FBI is potentially looking at extortion here by the women. So we'll see what comes out of this. Deshaun Watson still doesn't want to play in Houston. Does a team take a chance on him? There's no way you're getting 3 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson now. It's done. We know that's kind of what the compensation has kind of been from the Texans. They want to get 3 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson is worth 3 first-round picks. I would have no problem with a team trading 3 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson when he's 100% healthy and when he's 100% innocent. That is when you are eligible to trade 3 first-round draft picks. But he is under investigation. We don't know if he's ever going to play this season. We don't know if he's ever going to play again. We don't know if this is just going to ruin his reputation if he does, in fact, get found guilty. But now there's no way you get 3 first-round picks. This is too much of a risk for 3 first-round picks. If you still want to give up 1, I would say I'm fine with 1 first-round pick on this risk because the upside is huge. This man is a masterful talent, folks. Let's bring up his stats really quickly here because they are absolutely phenomenal. We've said it multiple times. He led the league in passing yards last season, folks, when they were irrelevant. The Texans were an irrelevant team. All they had is Deshaun Watson. Everything else about this team is 100% irrelevant. They do not matter. And he still led the league in passing with 4,800 passing yards and 70% completion percentage and only 7 interceptions. That's one of the biggest things about Deshaun Watson. He does not turn the ball over. He already has like 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio for his entire career. He's only thrown 36 interceptions in his first 4 years, and he's only once thrown double-digit interceptions in a season with 12 in 2019. But I mean, folks, look at these completion percentage. I can't talk about his first year because he only started 6 games, but second year, 68% completion percentage, 4,100 yards, 26 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Beautiful stat line right there. 2019, 67% completion percentage, 3,800 passing yards, 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Once again, real solid stat line right there. And then last season, like we said, 70% completion percentage, 4,800 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. Oh, and we forgot to mention, he's a dual threat quarterback, putting up 500 yards in 2018 on the ground, 400 yards both the last 2 seasons. So getting it done in the running game as well. Obviously not kind of a Lamar Jackson, or I think Kyler Murray's putting up a little bit more yards on the ground than Deshaun Watson is, but Deshaun Watson got a great cannon arm and he's accurate as heck. You give up a first round pick to play the odds, to play the chance that you may end up not winning the deal because he's in jail. So that's where we're at with Deshaun Watson. Truly worth a first-round pick. I don't think I would go more than 1. I don't think I give up 2 first-round picks. I give up a first, maybe a second in the same season or in the same draft, maybe that, but I don't think I do anything more than that, a first and a second in the same year for Deshaun Watson. But I wouldn't fault the team if they tried to make that trade for like 3. I wouldn't fault them. I would understand it. It's just a big old risk and a big old meatball that will be held over whoever's decision it was, whether it was the coach or the front office, whoever initially makes that final decision will be like, all right, we're trading 3 first-round picks. Whoever makes that decision, you better hope he's not in jail. So that's where we're at with Deshaun Watson, folks. The FBI is getting involved looking at extortion on the women's side.